Hi there, my name is Paul, and I am the owner and director of Hero. I am so pleased that you have made the time to come and just look at this presentation. It's something that's really dear to my heart. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you all about the importance of maintaining a healthy um, process when it comes to honoring and taking care of parents in the workplace, and the importance of placing that importance on the health and well-being of parents in the workplace. So knowing that the parents in your team are doing everything that they possibly can to contribute to their families and also to themselves is going to be well within your interest as somebody who is a decision maker in the organization. It's going to be heavily increasing their productivity levels and obviously also decreasing their sick days. And it's something that really doesn't get talked about enough. Hero chooses to shine the light on the role that parents play in this workplace. They comprise almost 50% of Australia's workforce, and this presents a really unique challenge for people that do make decisions in the organisation. It's a commonly overlooked factor that many companies, don't really look at. And what we try to do is, as I said before, shine a light on the roles that parents play. And we look at developing resilience, and we look at increasing their performance to that of a peak performance, and also in turn increasing their mental health because of the unique challenges that they place. So why are you here? Well, we're living in a post-pandemic world where working environments and flexible employee habits are really unpredictable. And the constant struggle juggle of kids coming home from school, being sick, the exhausted, sleepless nights that parents and kids alike will be experiencing, these are really big hurdles that parents seem to be having night after night. And when they don't have the adequate support to be able to front up in an empowering way, to feel safe and to feel like they're building themselves up on an individual and collective level, then, ultimately the price gets paid in the bottom line. And what we're trying to do here is build up individuals within the organization, maintain accountability and a personalized guidance with experts so individual parents can really contribute the most that they can to themselves, to their families, and ultimately to the organizations that they work for and with. And in my experience, only companies with a proven wellness roadmap to build the most valuable resources that they possibly can, and that's their people. That's what your most valuable resource you possibly can have is. This is what gets immediate results and lasting benefits. So what we're going to cover today is the current state of health in Australia. We're just going to touch on it, and then how companies are suffering as a result of this. We'll do a bit of a company health audit and also look at the overarching power of strong habits. And then we're going to also touch on who Hero is and why it has been such a powerful system over the last number of years, and what the concept of closing the loop is as well. So the current reality in Australia is 1 in 16 Australians is currently experiencing depression, and approximately 33% of working Australians have reported having one of the following. And I'm just going to rattle through these, and they really do deserve their own spotlight. But, 1 in 33 individuals are experiencing arthritis, asthma, coronary heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, depression, diabetes, osteoporosis. I'm pretty sure that you know somebody who's very close to you that has one or a number of these. So this is something that for the most part can be avoided. And it's about the practices and the habits that we can put in place for our busy workers that can really, make individuals empowered to be able to step out of this health abyss, but also step into an empowered state. And that's what we're looking at doing here. So what's more, in 2021, McKinsey showed that parents were more likely to have left their jobs than non-parental colleagues. And that's something to really, really acknowledge. 7 out of 10 parents are simply not coping with the demands that their work is placed upon them. And 1 in 3 are thinking of leaving their current employer. So this places parents in the corporate landscape in a very unique situation. No doubt a very, very high stressed internal environment in their own minds and bodies. So if your employees are feeling stressed all the time and exhausted and constantly under pressure and struggling to keep their head above water, you're not alone. This is something that stress really, really can really develop if it's not addressed in a big time. But first, what I want to talk about is a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is one of those hormones that gets a bad rap. It's an incredibly productive chemical that allows you to get a lot of things done. But what tends to happen is we stay in this highly elevated stress state. And if your cortisol levels are elevated to a point where they remain what we call a chronically elevated cortisol level state, then what happens is all of these health markers that I discussed earlier start to really, really creep up and come to the surface. And parents have a lot of these stresses that come up that contribute to these highly elevated cortisol levels, hence this chronic stress state. So what can we do about this? Well, first I want to say, what comes up for a lot of these people is the results of it is irritability, foggy mind, lack of energy, weight gain, and all of this is a bit of a vicious cycle. And the daily burn and churn of this stress eventually catches up with them all, and it's pretty much unavoidable. I'm sure that you know someone who's been deeply affected by this and who's experiencing all of these types of mood swings and symptoms that I'm mentioning here. It's a cumulative effect that doesn't really rear its ugly head until sometimes it's kind of too late. So 1 in 7 new dads experience, and I've had a great deal of experience, guiding fathers over the past. They experience high levels of psychological distress. And in many instances, 1 in 10 experience depression and anxiety. This is something that really needs to be addressed, and that's exactly why Hero was born. So my name's Paul Glazer, and I'm the founder and head coach of Hero. As I mentioned earlier, I've actually had over between 15 and 20 years experience in the health and well-being space. I've become a specialist in high performance, specifically when it comes to guiding parents in the corporate work space. And this is something that really came about through necessity, because I noticed and saw a lot of my friends when they became parents before me, they really dropped the ball and they began to step into that point of self-sacrifice and decided to really, really churn when it came to work. But they didn't take care of themselves. And ultimately, if you don't take care of yourself and you don't honor your own mental and physical health, eventually it's going to come to the surface. And that's exactly what actually happened with me as well. And I couldn't believe it because, as mentioned before, I've been a health coach for 15 years. And what happened with me was the reality of parenthood set in. And I choked basically. And what I realized was, without the proper resources to be able to guide me, without the accountability and the expertise around me and the community around me, I was really struggling. So I created a program that hadn't previously existed, a program that could honor parents, shine a light on them, and also fill parents' cups up so they can be more available for their families, but also more available at work and more productive at work. So looking back, it really helped me empathize with the struggles of parents and that they were experiencing and transitioning into their new reality. Understanding that there was a loss when you transition into parenthood, not a saddening loss. It was a loss that really needed to be acknowledged because it was a loss of independence, time, attention, and also affection. And these are things that really needed to just be amplified, named, and then worked with. And thankfully, as a professional, I was fully equipped with the knowledge and the experience to set this up for myself. And after a short period, I realized that I actually was able to create a bulletproof system that could bring about powerful results for other parents. That's exactly what I did. Um, there's an interesting word in the Japanese culture called kiki, and the first character of it represents chaos, and the second character of it represents opportunity. Now, as mentioned in the previous slide, a lot of parents deal with the concept of loss. Now, are you going to use loss with that first character, chaos, or the word dangerous? Or are you going to choose to use that transition as an opportunity and create a new reality for yourself and for your family? And these are things that we need to think about because it's an intention that we need to place on the way we live our lives every moment of the day. So I'm going to share with you the simple yet transformational system that makes our parents healthy, confident, strong in their new reality that they find themselves in. And it's a reality that they create for themselves because we are exactly what we create for ourselves. So at the risk of sounding wishy-washy, it's actually firmly embedded in science. If you don't make your own mind up, then everybody out there is going to make it up for you. So it's really, really important for you to acknowledge that. And with the right guidance of people around you, you're going to be able to really use your new reality as something that is going to generate a greater productivity. So the Hero Impact, this is the system that I've used to transform the minds and bodies and energy levels of countless parents who've been struggling when they came to see me. This is a lovely man by the name of Oz, and he came to his, as he would admit, he was really, really struggling when he came to see Hero. And what we did is we worked with him. We worked with him very, very tirelessly to be able to create a different filter in his mind as to how he can function as a father, but also as a worker. And he's now built up his organization to be sold for, let's just say, a very, very healthy amount. And he's only been able to do that through his ability to really, really prioritize his own health and well-being, to be able to honor exactly where he's at as an individual and a father. And then he steps into his power as a business owner and a business worker. Andrew Blody is another very, very similar scenario. We worked with Andrew, and as he mentioned here, the impact that he has been life-changing. We were able to achieve some incredible results with him, really incredible. And the results that we've been able to achieve with these people are predictable. If you follow the system, your team will feel lighter. Energy levels will soar at home and at work. And you'll have the time to completely be present with your family and or friends away from work. And this is a really big thing. If you don't feel like you have that time to honor on your own and with your friends away from work, then you're not going to feel present when you're at work. And this is something that we work on to be able to deconstruct a person's days and weeks so they can really, really find gaps in the days that they didn't know existed. And perhaps, work on themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally so they can be the best versions of themselves. So What is it that makes some of these parents succeed with this balance, or what makes it that some of these parents just remain being time poor and struggling due to poor health? Well, it's really the system that we've created, and it's all comes down to the strong system that we've created. So, what does this system look like? It's a really simple system, and that is usually how we've been able to achieve these results. It starts with targeting the right mindset, movement, nutrition, and lifestyle design. A busy parent requires very specific and customized attention. And finding a system that will create the greatest return on investment for them is really essential, because we know that all of these busy corporate parents are time poor. So it's like, how can we identify all of these mindset, movement, nutrition, and lifestyle objectives that are going to get the greatest return for investment? Seneca once said that the body should be treated more rigorously, that it may not be disobedient to the mind. And this is a really, really foundational principle behind what it is we teach at Hero. Being able to use the body as a bottom-up approach, being able to tap into rituals and habits that you can use in your with your body, so your mind and your focus can yield the greatest benefits. So how do we turn all of these powerful concepts that I'm talking about into long-lasting habits? Well, it is something that we really, really break down to a science, and I can't wait to be able to break these down with you guys and really jump on a call and have a chat a little bit further about what these habits are broken down into and how they can be crystallized and conceptualized and then embodied by each individual worker. So yes, all the parents that I've spoken to have really, really strong deadlines. They are all really time poor, and yes, they are stressed. And it's been a little while since they've felt like themselves. And this system uses the limitations to take full advantage of what it is that their limitations are, so they can turn their limitations into an actual advantage. So a little bit more about the power of habits and being 1% better every day. We have 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same ones that we've had the day before. And if you believe that your thoughts don't have an impact on your action, there is not much scope for change. However, if you believe that you can learn certain behaviors that are not serving your output and replace them with behaviors that will ensure that you are fitter, more efficient, and more resilient, then your possibilities are limitless. And that's exactly what we teach here at Hero. Our purpose is to create small and gradual changes with individuals on a daily basis through nutrition, movement, and lifestyle design, so that we can get a tremendous impact for the organization. So how does this process work? Well, we break this down into a number of different, workshops, first and foremost. The high performance workshops we talk about are movement workshops, nutrition workshops, lifestyle workshops, and mindset workshops. And these are all broken down into subsections. We have scientifically backed methodologies that can increase focus, that can increase rest. And we look at all different types of rest. We have more formal rest when it comes to sleep, but also non-sleep deep rest, which is scientifically proven and backed up to be able to get a tremendous productivity result when employed in a regular daily basis. We have the options of group training, where movement and exercise in a more formal sense is a really, really powerful strategy to be able to evoke that energy and focus when it comes to these types of things. Now, the program design, these are custom built programs. And what I want to talk a little bit about now is the concept of closing the loop. Now, the concept of closing the loop is bringing all the concepts and the principles that I talked about back on this slide, with these performance workshops, what we found in the past was if we are teaching a performance workshop and then we leave the participants to their own devices, very little gets done after we do the actual workshop. So what we found is closing the loop can be a really, really powerful way to ingrain the principles that we teach in the workshop. So that's exactly what we do. Closing the loop is allowing each individual to take the principles home and firmly ingrain them into their everyday life. We build custom built exercise programs. We maintain accountability when it comes to food journaling, habit tracking, lifestyle consulting and planning. And we have the nutrition planning and guidance. And as mentioned before, the main thing is having that daily accountability support. So this is a massive, massive thing that we have really been working tirelessly on developing. And what we've done is we've created our own app that has been able to give individuals within the workspace an opportunity to take the concepts that we teach with you guys home so you can well ingrain them into your everyday life. And if you choose to set aside 20 minutes to be able to do a movement practice on a daily movement practice, or 5 days a week, whatever it might be, we agree upon what it is those goals are, and then we support you and hold you accountable to those goals. And that is something that we're big on here, because we understand that accountability is a big thing and support is even bigger. And having the guaranteed results that we've had previously with our past workers and our past employees and our past business owners has been astonishing. Really, it really has. So we know that what's going to come if you follow this program, just purely because we've seen it happen so many times over, is the increased energy levels. I mean, weight loss is something that, it's something that some people want. It generally is a result that comes whether you focus on it or not. But most importantly, it's the increase of energy, it's the increase of focus, and it is the ability to take back control of your own personal life and your own social life. So it really is the system that has been able to generate the greatest results. And the thing about this system is we've been working with it for 4 years now. And with every iteration, we continue to change things because we continuously get feedback from each client. And we're like, right, okay, what is it that is going to be able to make the next group of people even more successful than we've had? And the success continues to build up and build up and build up. So this is another organization that we worked with called Love Light, and they loved having Hero Corporate on board. They really noticed that the team felt more enthusiastic and more energized. It sparked a sense of joy amongst everybody, and they loved the bespoke and wellness program that was created for them. This is another client that we worked with. Her name is Sally Nichols, and as many companies faced difficulty during the lockdowns and the ongoing COVID situation, her employees were finding themselves in a trying and uncertain time. So the Hero process assisted to overcome fatigue and lockdown anxiety. And this is something in the mental health space that we really, really drew our attention towards. It's something that we really wanted to make to be able to shine that light on and to really flesh out. So by engaging in the process, their employees were able to learn tactical tools to improve their wellness across the workspace. And, look, I could have sat here and provided example after example. This was Rodney, who runs a building company, a very successful building company. This is Simon, who's a successful doctor, who's obviously had his stresses in the COVID days. So ultimately, if you are looking for an opportunity to build resilience, peak performance, and really, really looking to elevate your mental health amongst your employees, this is the program for you. And this is the program for you that is going to really honor your parents in that space. As you can see from the many hero corporates that we have worked with across the years, and the list continues to go on and on and on. They've had tremendous results, and they love the times that they have worked with us, and we just love remaining in contact with them on a consistent basis. Thank you so much for your time and taking the time to listen to this presentation. I hope you felt like you got some value out of this. If you did, I would love for you to reach out and contact me personally. Here are my contact details. It is paul@yourherolife.com. The website itself is www.yourherolife.com. And my direct mobile number is 0468 352 687. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you as an organization and understanding how we can help you in the future.